Be'ezrat Hashem Naaseh V'Natzliach. I want to welcome you to our 50th class. Baruch Hashem, we started this a very, very long time ago. We started the study, the in-depth study of the Amidah, and we started with an introduction, a very long introduction. We started the Amidah, we started to learn the Berachot in depth. We continued to go deeper into all the different side accessories that we had to the Tefillah, whether it was Ala Nisim, whether it was Birkat Kohanim, the concept of peace, so many different things that we were dealing with, and now we're at the end where we still gave an couple of additional classes. One was on the Kaddish, one was on the Amen, and the last one, by chance or Mishamayim rather, is that this class is going to be about no talking in shul. The importance of not talking in shul. It's good to know it. It's good to hear it. It's good that you understand what's allowed and what's not allowed, and also what is the reward of staying quiet in shul and what is the punishment from staying quiet. Excuse me, if you don't mind, you can talk in the kitchen. Thank you. So, also the importance of not talking during a class. Maybe we'll throw that in there as well. Okay? But Be'ezrat Hashem, this will wrap up our in-depth learning. This should be a very big simcha for all of you that have been along for the ride for close to a year and a half. And get ready to embark on additional learning, where we're going to start next week, the Yud Gimel Midot Rachamim, an in-depth learning of that as we enter also, and we'll use it as an introduction to the book, Tomer Devorah. Okay? Huh? I got it. Oh, להוסיף? כן. בוא תרשום לי פה. Give him this thing over this thing right. Before we got it, the whole list has the over Ilu Nishmat. If you want, add one more. מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה, להיות בשמחה תמיד. מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה, להיות בשמחה תמיד. איי איי איי, מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה, מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה, להיות בשמחה תמיד. There is a big simcha when you finish something, when you accomplish something, when you acquire knowledge. We learned this from Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech, every time he used to acquire knowledge, he used to do a big seudah. And that's when we say seudah keyad HaMelech. Which Melech? Shlomo HaMelech. Why? Because you can see that tonight we stepped it up a notch. Better food, couscous, vegetables, meat, there's dessert, there's ice cream, there's cookies, there's candies, there's a lot going on, there's fruits. Why? Because we're celebrating the fact that we've been our accomplishment of our in-depth study. So you can see that also, you're more than welcome to raise a lechaim, you're more than welcome to enjoy tonight. It's a big siyum, and also for the ones that are joining us only tonight, you're lucky. Because when you enter into a siyum, it counts for you as if you learned the entire thing. So some people did the whole work, 50 classes, and some people are going to show up on the last day, and they're going to get the same credit. Ashechem Yisrael, it's Mishamayim that you were chosen for this moment. And ironically, it's so interesting that Dafka on number 50, what do we have over here? 2 Haskarot. We have an Ilu Nishmat over here for Batya Bat Miriam, Batya Bat Tzipora, and then we have also Snir Lalum Ben Aliza Umichael Hashem Inkom Damo. And they are the big sponsors of tonight. Above and beyond that, we'll give an honorable mention dedications to the following people. Be'ezrat Hashem, Yibarach Shemo Shekadosh Baruch Hu. Be'ezrat Hashem, this class will be to the success of our soldiers, that they should be successful in the war and win the war, that the hostages come back safe and sound, that the injured will have refuah shelema. Also, that this class will be to the hatzlacha of Noam Zecharia ben Zion and his family. His son Yaakov ben Yocheved is celebrating his bar mitzvah today in Eretz HaKodesh. So Mazal Tov to the Avidar family, and this class will be to the Tzachab Yaakov ben Yocheved. Be'ezrat Hashem יעלה מעלה מעלה בתורה מצוות מעשים טובים שהשם מברך אותו ושמח אותו ומבצע את כל מעשה ידיו, ובעזרת השם יגדול הדור בתורה.
And also this class will be to the Hatzlacha of Yocheved Bat Leah, Yaakov, Zachariah, Yael, and Esther Bat Bnei Yocheved, and Rachel Bat Sarah, Galia Bat Rachel, and Dorit Bat Rachel. Also, that this class will be to the Ilui Nishmat of Avraham Tzevi Ben Israel, Gabriel Ben Yamima, and Yoshua Ben Menachem. Also, this class should be to the Zivug Hagun Mishorish Nishmatam, to Shani and Shaked Bnot Revital, and Inbal Bat Jacqueline and Batchen Bat Jacqueline. Also, that this class should be to the Refuah Shelema of Janet Bat Simi, Shlomo Ben Chana, and Tzion Ben Chana, and our good friend Hanan Ben Chana. Hashem Vayech Oto, Sameach Oto. He's been sponsoring the class for, I think, from the beginning up until now. Bezat Hashem, you should always be on the side of the giving. Amen. Also, Rina and Aaron Perkel, our good sponsors for the entire time. May Hashem bless Aharon, Meir Ben Rafael Mendel, as well as Rina Bat Jacqueline and their children, David Shalom Ben Rina and Ora Bat Alia, Tebacha, Hatzlacha, Chinuch, Hagun B'derech Hashem, and also may Hashem bless them to have more children, and Mazal, Bakol, Mikol, Kol. Do you mind taking a picture of this? Absolutely. Send it to me. Also, Yehudit Ben Shabbat, a good friend of the class, that has been learning with us, has been sponsoring the classes, has been hosting the classes, Shakadosh Baruch Hu Yivayach Otav, and her children, Noam, Elimelech, Asher Meir, and Shammai Ben Yehudit, and for unbelievable loyalty and continued support. Also, for our good friends Karen and David Barman, there's Hashem, that Hashem Vayech Otam, Sameach Otam, for being with us all this time and learning with us, and for their children. I want to also give a special thank you to Asaf, who's sponsoring for his friends on timely death of Snir Lalum Ben Aliza Michael. Asaf, we truly appreciate you helping in the Seudah, and as you can see, he also brought some placards over there that have his picture and his name. So make sure that when you're making berachot tonight, it's to the Ilui Nishmat of Snir Lalum Ben Aliza Ben Michael, as well as for Batya Bat Tzipora, that this tonight's Torah, tonight's blessings, and tonight's all that and the Kadishim that we're doing will all go to their Ilui Nishmat. Also, a good friend of the class is sponsoring tonight's class anonymously, dedicating the class and sponsoring in merit of Sharone Lankry and his dear family. May Hashem fulfill his wishes and for good, for blessing, and may he see long years, good health, happiness, wealth, honor, and joy from his offspring. Thank you for supporting Torah. Thank you, Anonymous. I know who you are. Truly appreciate it. Also, Moshe Harosh is sponsoring tonight's class for Rachel Bat Alisa. Ilya Makusomov is also sponsoring tonight's class. And also our good friend Yosef Tolila sponsoring tonight's class for Devorah Leah Bat Rivka, Zivug Agun Tutova Chai Bat Rivka, Marlene Bat Or Ved, David Mashiach Ben Alis, and Televin Nishmat Avraham Ben Salid, Zeleg Ben Avraham HaKohen, Vebeyam Ben Aza, and Blanche Bat Chana Anushka. Okay, that is it. And for all the people in attendance, all the people that are here with us tonight, Hashem Vayech Otchem, Sameach Otchem, for your loyalty, for your efforts, for coming every single week and learning and getting to this final checkpoint of Sha'ar Nun, the 50th class. Bezat Hashem, Hashem Vayech Otchem, Sameach Otchem, and He may pay you 1,000-folds for your efforts for learning Torah on a regular basis. And for all the new people in the room, welcome. Hashem Vayech Otchem. Bezat Hashem, we hope to see you again and learn with us as we embark on the new class of Yag Midot Rachamim as an introduction to Torah Devorah. Okay, let's get started. Quick reminder, and then we're starting. Please, very particular about the silence and being quiet. I don't mind that you speak. Just if you want to speak, you can step into the kitchen or out here, not where we give the class. Tonight's class is you're allowed to talk in shul under one condition. At the end, we'll find out what that condition is. Nevertheless, in order to understand the gravity of what it means to talk in shul, I'll give you a sneak peek into what tonight is going to be. Half the class is going to be scary, half the class is going to be lovely. You have to hear the scary part in order to appreciate the lovely part of it. But we have to learn these things. We can't ignore what Chazal and our sages have put out there for us to protect us from ourselves, to protect us from when we know we don't know what's the right thing to do. Bet HaKnesset hu makom kadosh, period. You are right now sitting in a place that is holy. The same way that we'd go to Bet HaMikdash and think it's holy, this shul right here, 4601 Thomas, it's also holy. As a matter of fact, it's considered a Mikdash Me'at. Ever since the destruction of the temple, since we don't have Bet HaMikdash, it says that the stones were spread all around the world, and whenever there's a stone from Bet HaMikdash landed somewhere, that is where a Bet Knesset is going to be built out. So underneath this entire area, there is a stone of Bet HaMikdash that's built, and that's why the shul is on top of it. And that's why it's called a Bet Mikdash or a Mikdash Me'at. In the same way that when you think of Bet HaMikdash, like, oh my God, I'm going to give it so much honor, I'm going to give it so much respect, and I'll never act like this, and I'll never say that because I'm in front of Bet HaMikdash. It's identical right here and in any shul. We're going to say some basics in case you missed it, but it serves as a good introduction. Bet HaKnesset hu makom shenifgashim im HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you come to shul, you're coming to meet God, not your friends. Your friends are secondary. The truth is, it's nice. Everybody has their life. At the end of the week, you come together, and they're good people. They're your friends. You see them on Shabbat. Everybody's in a good mood. You can't help but hug and kiss and talk and say one thing and say something funny and say something witty. You can't. It's like a yetzer to hold yourself back. And nobody's holding you back from doing that. You should do that. It's a time to connect. It's a time to socialize. But there's a time and place for everything. Shlomo Melech, the smartest man to ever live, says, Yesh etim. There's time and place for everything. There's a time to pray. There's a time to play. There's a time to sleep. And there's a time to eat. There's a time for everything. So everything has to be done in its appropriate time and place. So what we have right now is sometimes we come to a Mikdash Me'at, and we are to come to speak to God, but instead of speaking to God, we do a 50-50. Half the time we speak to God, and half the time we speak to our friends. It's very damaging. How damaging? We'll find out tonight. As a matter of fact, first let's talk about Masechet Megillah. It says over there, Tanu Rabbanan, Bate Knesiot, En nohagim bahen kalut rosh, en ochlin bahen, ve'en shotin bahen, ve'en otin bahen. It says that when you come to shul, there's a few things that you're not allowed to do in shul. One of them is don't act lightheadedly. You have to be you have to have seriosity when you walk into these four walls. And you don't eat and you don't drink. You're going to tell me, hey, we're eating and drinking right now. There is a condition of how you can actually eat and drink in a shul. As a matter of fact, if anybody's ever gone to Israel, where most of the shuls do it properly, and some other places also in America sometimes do it properly, they have the Bet Knesset proper, and over there is praying neto. That's it. Nothing more than praying. You come, you pray, you get out. Everything that they do in addition to that, such as seudot, seudah shlishit, any sort of like farbrengen or whatever it is, it's a secondary room or something on the outside of the shul, never in the shul. However, they say that when you open up a brand new shul and you know that you don't have room, you're limited. You only have a small little box and you don't have the ability to create other spaces, then you make a t'nai. What's the t'nai? That I'm opening up a shul, that I'm going to use the shul for prayer and also for seudah shlishit and also for siyumim. And when you make that t'nai, then you can use the place. But you also have to be very careful that you don't have a kalut rosh. What's a kalut rosh? That you drink too much and you start talking nonsense, or you drink too much and you're drunk in shul, you're drunk in Bet HaMikdash. So you have to be very, very careful with honoring the place. You can do a lechaim, you can do something in order to to celebrate the moment, but don't lose yourself. There's a time and there's a place for everything. The shul is a place to pray, and if there's something to celebrate, like a siyum of a masechet, like a siyum of a class, of a book, or if there's a seudah shlishit, it's all appropriate. Above and beyond that, you have to know your borders. You have to know what's allowed and what's not allowed. As a matter of fact, it says in Shulchan Aruch, אין נוהגים בהם קלות ראש, כגון צחוק ושיחה בטלה, ואין אוכלים ושותים בהם, ולא מתקשטים בהם, ולא מטיילים בהם, ולא נכנסים בהם בחמה מפני החמה, ובגשמים מפני הגשמים. It says, Shulchan Aruch takes the law of the honor of Bet HaKnesset and says, when it comes to Bet HaKnesset, understand, you don't act lightheaded in this place. You don't come over here to act in the way that you would act in the street or the way you would act normally outside of Bet HaMikdash. What does it mean? Tzchok, to come over here and make fun, crack jokes, or to make light of the place. Secha betela, talking nonsense, or gossiping, or things that are not connected to Kedusha. You have a chidush on the parasha, you have something to say about a halacha, great, this is the place for it. You want to talk about Bitcoin, you want to talk about your Airbnb, it's not the right place. You got to go somewhere else for that. Furthermore, ולא מטיילים בהם ולא נכנסים בהם בחמה בני החמה בגשמים בני הגשמים. You can't use the shul for anything but praying. So let's say, for example, it's raining outside. Can you go inside and say, I'm going to wait till the rain stops? You can't. How about it's too hot and there's AC in the shul? You can't. As a matter of fact, you also, can I say, I want to go from here to my car that's parked in the back. Can I go from this door and go all the way to the other side and use the shul as a shortcut? You can't. Am I too loud?
How about if you make a prayer on the way?
All right, lower it. You can't. Why? You can't use the shul for anything other than what its purpose. So what do you do when it rains? Stay here when it rains, but take out a Sefer Tehillim and read a parak of Tehillim. When it's hot and you want to use the air conditioner, not a problem. Take out a book and read something. Meaning, use the shul for what it's meant for, and then have that secondary use of what you want. Crossing through it as well. You have to, if you're going to go through, what you have to do is you have to sit down, you take a Tehillim book, you read minimum one parak of Tehillim, and after you read one parak of Tehillim, you're more than welcome to use it as a shortcut to the other side. But to just use it as a shortcut is not allowed. So know how to interact in the shul. It's very important. There's like a nidlon, there's like a printout called Lev HaMoadim that they took the whole dealing of the shul, and they printed 4 pages on it. It's a treasure house. It's a treasure cove of things that we need to learn. The bulk of our learning is going to be over here, and I want to share it with you. צריך האדם להתבונן איך היה עומד לפני מלך בשר ודם. Imagine to yourself, if you're standing in front of a human king, who are they? I don't know. Even today, we don't give much honor to the kings. We look down on them. But back in the days, or in general, a king has the power to what? To kill a person or to keep him alive. To put him in jail or to let him free. They're very powerful individuals. Most people fear a king. So if you're going to fear a king that's in the flesh, and imagine you're sitting in front of this regular human king, ומדבר דברים בטלים שאינו נוגעים למלך. Imagine the king is in front of you and tell him, listen, before, 1 second, you saw the Miami Heat? I don't know, I can't believe they didn't make the finals. Oh, you saw the Olympics, you saw the USA team? It's the new dream team. Oh, wow. What would the king do if you stopped for a second and talked to him about Dvarim Betelim? He would hang you. You're disrespecting the king to his face. קל וחומר כשעומד בבית הכנסת ובית המקדש לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ואיך לא יבוש מפניו. Why through a human being you would act like that, and you would never disrespect a human king, but yeah, the king of all kings, the boss of all bosses, the creator of the world, him, it's okay. Here I can talk. It makes no sense. It says in Shla Kadosh, אל תדברו שיחת חולים בבית הכנסת ואפילו צורך גדול כי עוון גדול הוא מי שמדבר בבית הכנסת וגורם רעה לעצמו. האמנם אל תעשו עצמכם כאלים כשתעמדו בבית הכנסת. He says, you know, it's a big sin. The father of the Shla Kadosh says, you know, it's a very, very big sin to talk in shul. And even if you have a huge need to speak, hold yourself back, because you don't know how much you're hurting yourself through that speech. It says, the Chida in his book, המדבר בבית כנסת שיחת חולין, טוב שלא יבוא כל עיקר, כי הוא חוטא ומחטיא, והשטן מקטרג, והוא אומר היום קצר לדבר, עד שצריך גם בשעת התפילה לדבר. The Chida says, if you're coming to shul to talk, it's better that you don't come. Because not only are you not being heard, אתה מחטיא, you're causing other people not to pray and to talk. And that causes to the Satan, who is just waiting lekatreg. You have to understand that there are good angels and there are bad angels. The bad angels, the good angels, their job is to report the good. The bad angels, identical job, to report the bad. They can't wait for you to go to do something wrong, catch it and report it. So what is it? You're making it easy for the Satan lekatreg. What's the problem with that? A lot of people come to shul not to socialize. A lot of people come to shul for yeshuot. You know what's yeshuot? Salvations. Some people are really sick. Some people are broke. They have no money. Some people have very bad shlom bayit. They can't get along. The husband and the wife, it's fire. Some people can't. The chinuch in Derech Hashem is impossible. The chinuch of the children is mission impossible for them. And they come and they want to speak to God about it. They come to shul and they say, Hashem, please help me with my parnasah. Hashem, please help me with my shlom bayit. Hashem, please help me with my chinuch. Hashem, please help me with the physical ailment or with the financial woe or something. And the guy is just waiting for that Yeshua because he already learned that coming to shul is better than praying on your own. And praying in a minyan, it goes automatically to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the prayer is heard. And he's so relying on the prayer to be heard, so you could do what? So you could actually be heard and get the Yeshua. Comes a clown, makes a couple of jokes in the shul, starts to talk, and all of a sudden the Shekhinah goes bye-bye. There's no more delivery of your prayers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That Satan becomes the mekatreg, and he comes and he starts to be in charge. I'm going to read you what I found. It's unbelievable. It's a little bit scary, but we have to. I have to read this to you. The Gemara brings this. It says, "B'shat magefa yesh sakana bebate knesset." When there's a plague, where's the first place that there's a sense of danger? Meaning there's a plague, right? Maybe the closest thing that we could call to it in a plague right now is COVID, right? Or something, there's a haydak, some sort of a bacteria that's affecting the...
The shul is where you don't want to go.
So you think the safest place is to be where? In the shul. Well, listen to this. The Gemara says this. En leikanes sham b'yechidut. When there's a plague going on, don't go to shul by yourself. Don't go into the shul solo. Shemalach hamavet mafkid sham et kelav. The angel of death takes all his weapons and he stores them in the synagogues. Look what it says. Dever ba'ir. Dever is a form of a plague. When you have a plague in the city, אל ייכנס אדם יחיד לבית הכנסת שמלאך המוות מפקיד שם כליו, מסכת בבא קמא, דף סמך עמוד ב'. Baba Kama on the 60th page on the second side is our source. The Gemara continues to say, באלו בתי כנסיות לא קיימת סכנה זו בפני מלאך המוות, והם בתי כנסיות שבהם לומדים תינוקות של בית רבן, או מקום שבו מתפללים 10 אנשים. He says, but if he goes into a shul where the children learn, or where people pray in a minyan, over there, that's a safe zone. That's a safe zone. Now, that's not the danger zone. במילים אחרות, במקום שנוהגים בקדושה, אין סכנה. Anywhere that you deal with the shul in a way of קדושה, אין סכנה. He says, also notice that the language that the Gemara used, dever. What's dever? Why would there be a plague? Because of dibur. The plague comes because of dibur. It continues to say from the Khatam Sofer. The Khatam Sofer took this Gemara and he says, איסור הדיבור בבית הכנסת בזמן התפילה הם גורמים לסילוק השכינה, השראת השכינה והטומאה שולטת במקום. So we know that as soon as there's 10 people in a minyan, automatically the Shekhinah comes down. 9? No. 10? Yes. That's why we make such a big deal about minyan. So you have a minyan of 10 people, the Shekhinah now is here. Now we have a Bet HaMikdash, a Mikdash Me'at, with the Shekhinah, with God's holy presence in Kodesh HaKodeshim. Here, it's right here. 10 people coming to pray, Shekhinah is here. Imagine just like back in the days of Bet HaMikdash and the Shekhinah was here. Same thing over here in the shul when you have 10 people. It says, but when people talk, or when people clown around in the shul, the Shekhinah leaves. It leaves those people on their own, and it allows the Tum'ah, the impurity, the bad angels, to take over. Why? You have to understand there's no such thing as a void in this world. There's no such thing as an empty space. Everything has to be filled. If there's no Kedusha, as soon as the Kedusha leaves, it doesn't stay empty. Tum'ah takes over. There's no such thing as a vacuum in this world. There's always either Kedusha or Tum'ah, and it happens instantly. So as soon as the Shekhinah leaves, what enters? The Tum'ah. Look what he says now. This is the Khatam Sofer. שר הטומאה הופך להיות בעל הבית של המקום. The Samech Mem, the devil himself, becomes the landlord, the keeper, the boss of that shul. וכל התפילות הולכות לצד של הטומאה. And all the prayers that we're doing empowers the dark side. Now here, I want to give a little bit of an introduction to this. Is it possible that somebody's putting on tefillin and he's giving power to the dark side? Is it possible that somebody can come give a tefillah and he's empowering the dark side, the sitra achra? Is it possible? Is there such a reality? Well, first you have to go 2 steps back and understand that the only thing that has power in this world is kedusha. In order for the tum'ah to live, it lives off of the kedusha. Tum'ah has 0 power. It gets its power from the kedusha. How does it do that? It takes whatever service that the people do in kedusha that is an incorrect service, and that's its lifeline. That's its lifeline. So, for example, if a person is a rasha, right? The guy just murdered somebody. The guy just stole from somebody. The guy just did something terrible on the street, and then he comes and he puts on his tefillin. You think his tefillin has any value? No. So he's going to say God's name. He's going to do the mitzvah, but all that is going to the sitra achra. There is a reality that a person can do a mitzvah or thinks that he's doing a mitzvah, but his status is the status of a rasha, and his rishut, it has him disconnected from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So all his service is going where? To the tum'ah, and that's its lifeline. Without the kedusha, the tum'ah is dead. So what does it wait for? It waits for people to mess up so it can take that power and stay alive. So when it comes to the Khatam Sofer, he says, when there's talking in shul, when the Shekhinah leaves, and now you have people praying in the shul, the Shekhinah is not here to receive it anymore. The Kedusha is not here to receive it anymore. So who comes? The bandit. The devil himself. He comes and he says, okay, I'll take it. שר הטומאה הופך להיות בעל הבית של המקום, וכל התפילות הולכות לצד של הטומאה. So there's a reality that a person can be his whole life thinking he's doing mitzvot, meanwhile he's just supporting the other side. And this is his lashon. הקדוש ברוך הוא ברוב רחמיו וחסדיו השאיר לנו מקדש מעט. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even though that we don't have Bet HaMikdash, He did a chesed with us. He did an act of kindness where He left us a small memory of what Bet HaMikdash is like. It's called a shul, a synagogue. It's called a Mikdash Me'at. Batei Knesiot u'Batei Midrashot, where we pray and where we learn. אם אנו נוהגים בהם קודש, אז יש להם את קדושת ארץ ישראל. He says, if we deal with these places like as a place of holiness, the place here is like Israel. That's why the Breslev, what do? They go like this. You know why? Because they want to create new air, fresh air. You know, when you clap your hands, what happens? You see there's like air that comes out. Which air is it? It's the air of Eretz Yisrael. That's the one. Because what do they say about the air of Israel? What does it say? Mahkima. And not only that, it's healthy. It's healthy to breathe the air of Israel. Vatfilot mishtalchot mehen l'shar hashamayim. Where's Shar hashamayim? Where is the gate of the heavens? Does anybody know where it is? Where is it? Marat HaMachpelah. It goes through it. Does anybody know where Shar hashamayim? Where is the gate of heaven? Beautiful. So we say it every day before the Amidah. The Kavanah. שהתפילה הולכת מפה לירושלים. ירושלים, בית המקדש. בית המקדש, קודש הקודשים. Over there, קודש הקודשים is the pipeline לשער השמיים. That's why our kavanah is when we pray that our tefillah goes to that spot, and from that spot it goes over there. What you said about Marat HaMachpelah, it passes through it also. That's true. The tefillot go through there as well. So it says, אם חס ושלום נוהגים בביזיון. However, if we do the complete opposite and we deal with the shul in a way that is disrespectful, ומדברים בהם דברים בטלים, הבל זה של דברים בטלים הוא טמא. What happens now? You create a vapor. The breath that comes out of your mouth is a negative breath. It's a negative vapor. And that breath that comes out, מתלבש בו שר של טומאה, וגם הוא נעשה בעל הבית בבית הכנסת, הוא מקבל התפילות ומכניסן אל החיצונים. What happens? The person that starts to talk hevel havalim, he takes his breath and makes it tameh. He hijacks his words, and he becomes now, he says, Baal Habayit bebet HaKnesset, the landlord to the shul. There's a new boss in town. There's somebody else that gets to benefit from all the deposits. Meaning, when we go to a bank, it'll be nice that if the money that we take out of our pocket goes into our own bank account. How terrible would it be that after 10 years of depositing money into the bank, they tell you, it didn't go into your bank account, it went into your enemy's bank account. Oh no, how could it be? That's what the Khatam Sofer is telling us over here. You might think that you're praying and it's going to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But if you're praying in a shul where people are talking, if you're praying in a shul where people are not acting in a way of respect and proper decorum in a shul, you're depositing to your enemy's bank account. Think about, there's a story, I'll just throw a quick story over here of a guy who was having a hard time having children. And there was another guy in the shul who was having a hard time having parnasah. And there was another guy in the shul that was having a hard time in shlom bayit, and they started to feel, what's wrong with this shul? This shul is like a nachs. Everybody over here is just, everybody over here, everything is wrong. Everything is wrong. You turn to every guy, it's like downer. What's going on with you? This guy has a problem. That guy has a problem. This guy has a problem. Everybody has a problem. And you're like in this environment of people that are covered with problems. One guy learned that talking in shul was wrong. He says, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. I know they talk in my shul. Let me go somewhere else. He went to a shul where they were makpid on silence. There's no talking in shul. God forbid you should talk in shul. They get up and they yell and they scream and the rabbi gives you a warning and the second one you come out. He went over there and all of a sudden a few months pass by. They say, your wife is pregnant? Baruch Hashem, yes. He says, what happened? He says, you know what? Ever since I changed my shul, now that I pray in a shul that it's quiet, things are different for me. So one of the guys said, you know what? I'm going to try it also. The guy with the low parnasah started to go pray in that shul also. All of a sudden, 2 months, 3 months later, he closes a deal, he closes two, and all of a sudden, you see that he's being matzliach. The third guy says, maybe me too. And they went over there and they saw that they had a zechut to get children. They had a zechut to make money. They had a zechut to get the yeshua that they're going for. What was blocking them? That they were praying in a shul that was talking. They changed to a shul that wasn't talking. The Shekhinah is there, the blessing is there, and they're not depositing, the tefillot are not getting hijacked by the Sitra Achra. I saw, in addition to this Hatam Sofer, he says, there's a Kabbalist, Rabbi Baruch Mikosov, he writes in his books, Yesod HaEmunah, Hamedabrim diburim betelim bebet hakneset. Anybody who talks idle chatter inside of a shul, umotziim behevel pihem avir shebo kayemet tum'ah. When they speak the nonsense in shul, that air is contaminated with impurity. Ve'oto avir noshmim sh'ar mitpalei hamakom. And the rest of the people are now breathing the air that is impure. It's a avir tameh. Imagine. And when they breathe the air of the people that speak Lashon Hara, what happens? It strengthens their evil inclination. The air that they breathe in the place where people are talking in shul affects them in a way where it increases, it arouses their evil inclination. This is his language. ידוע שבית הכנסת הוא מקדש מעט, כי תמיד עוסקים בבית הכנסת בדברי קדושה, ונמצא שהאוויר של בית הכנסת הוא קדוש. The air that we breathe in the shul is holy. ועל ידי ששואבים האוויר ההוא, נעשים בריאים וחזקים ומאריכים ימים. When you're in a proper shul, where there's a yirat shamayim, where there's quiet, with proper decorum, listen to the words. נעשים בריאים, חזקים ומאריכים ימים. You become strong, you become healthy, and you have a long life. And the complete opposite is when somebody is talking dvarim betelim. פוגם ומזיק לעצמו ולאחרים השואבים אוויר אותו אחרי גופם. He hurts other people, he damages other people that suck in the air that goes into their body, because now they're breathing air that's contaminated. האוויר הרע מזיק להם לפי שהוא מעופש וטמא, ולשמתם מזיק גם כן לפי הטומאה היא מחזקת ועוזרת את הרע. That air that is breathing now is strengthening that individual's evil inclination. We need a Kabbalist to come and tell us this, because we don't even think about these things. Look how important it is to be in the right environment when you're praying. So when somebody comes for refuah, when somebody comes for parnasa, when somebody comes for shlom bayit, when somebody comes for the yeshua that they need, and all of a sudden there's a guy in the back that cracks a joke or talks in shul, what happened? Everybody loses. So what are we doing in shul? We have one guy that ruined it for everybody. Or maybe two, or maybe three, or maybe four, or maybe five. I said these are very harsh things, but we have to hear them. You have to understand that talking in shul is not a simple thing. I want to share with you. Rab Chaim Palaji says, המדברים בבית הכנסת יוצרים ענן שמונע את התפילות מלעלות. He says that vapor that we're talking about that comes out of the mouth, eventually when enough people are talking, it accumulates and it builds a cloud. The cloud hovers over the shul and all the tefillot have no way to go up. There's a cloud that's blocking the tefillot from going up. Furthermore, it says, אוי לאנשים המשיחים בשעת התפילה, כי ראינו כמה בתי כנסיות שנחרבו בשביל עוון זה. He says that, woe to the ones that talk in shul, because we've witnessed with our own eyes shuls that were got destroyed from people that talk during shul. Continues to say, it says that the Holocaust, what happened with the Holocaust? It says, he says that one of the big reasons of why there was such a huge destruction in Europe during the time of the Holocaust is because they were prone to speak in their synagogues. And he says, and one of the reasons why the synagogues in Sfarad, for the Sephardim, it didn't affect them as much, because the Sephardim are more makpid not to talk in shul. Could you imagine? The Holocaust. There were Jews that were saved from the Holocaust. And the rabbis attributed that the shuls that didn't talk, the Jews that were in synagogues praying and not talking, were saved from that Magifa. It's not that Magifa, we're saved from that Shoah. We're saved from that calamity of 6 million European Jews dying. Think about it. Why European Jews and not Sephardic Jews? They attributed to not talking in shul. There's more things over here that talk about punishment. I'm going to skip that. I want to transition and pivot to what you merit. What's the reward? I understand that talking in shul is a bad thing, and many harsh things have been said about it. But what's the merit? What's the positive side to staying quiet in shul? הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמרו מכל צרה וצוקה, מכל נגע ומחלה, ויחולו עליו כל הברכות הכתובה בספר תורה משה רבנו וכל ספרי הנביאים והכתובים, ויזכה לראות בנים חיים וקיימים, ויגדלם לתורה ולחופה ומעשים טובים, ויעבוד את השם אלוהינו תמיד באמת ובתמים. I want to tell you right now, I want that. Everything there I want. There's not a single thing I don't want. For the English speakers, Hashem will protect you from all agony, from troubles, from any sort of calamity, from any sickness. All the Torah blessings will come upon you and your family. And not only that, he'll merit to see children that are alive and strong, and he'll be able to raise them in the way of Torah, and they'll be able to get married, and all their deeds will be good deeds, and he'll be able to serve Hashem always with truth and with honesty. Who doesn't want that? Just for being quiet in shul, I can do that. I can challenge myself to not talk for 45 minutes in the morning or 2 hours or 3 hours on Shabbat, because I want my kids to come out to be successful. I want to be healthy. I want to find favor in God's eyes. Why should I pass up on that? And you know what I do as soon as I get out of that door? I don't stop talking. The minute I come out that door, I don't stop talking. Why? I need to. I just stay quiet for 3 hours. I'm going to pop. So I have to, right? So you have to know there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place. As a matter of fact, Shlomo HaMelech, I believe it's in, give me a Chumash, I think it's Kohelet. Give me a Chumash. Let's see if they have a Kohelet over there. It says over here, I'm not sure if this one has Kohelet. It does. Here, Per Gimel. Look what it says. Shlomo HaMelech, the smartest man to ever live. If you ever want to take advice, it's not from Elon Musk or Bill Gates. That's not what your neshama needs. Your neshama needs is Kohelet. Shlomo HaMelech. That's the advice you need in your life. In Kohelet, it says in Perek Gimel Pasuk Aleph, Lekol Zman Ve'et. Lechol Chefetz Tachat HaShamayim. Every single part of your life, there's a proper time for it. Et laledet ve'et lamut. Et lata'at ve'et la'akor natua. Et laharog ve'et tirpo. Et lifrotz ve'et livnot. Et nifkod ve'et nischok. Et sefod ve'et rekod. In other words, Shlomo HaMelech says, there's a time to be born, there's a time to die. There's a time to plant, there's a time to uproot. There's a time to kill, there's a time to heal. There's a time to wreck, there's a time to build. There's a time to weep, there's a time to laugh. There's a time to pray, and there's a time to play. When you come here, it's time to pray. Proper time management is one of the biggest secrets in life. When you know how to manage your time properly. If you are here already, why don't you just do the job right? It's like, imagine you go to a job and you go 9 to 5, 8 hours, you clock in and you clock out for 5 days a week. Comes Friday, you get a paycheck, and what does it say? 0. You didn't do the job right. you get 0. If you do the job right, you get paid. It's the same thing. You come here, you put in the time, and what do you get? 0. You're depositing in the enemy's bank account. Your bank account is empty. So if you're already here, cash in, cash out. You already came here, you got dressed, you came to shul, you opened up the book. Stay quiet, pay attention to the prayer, answer the Kadishim, answer to Amenim, go home, and you get the sachar for tefillah. And you get the credit that you're in a place where your prayers are being heard. And you also find favor in God's eyes. And you get all the guarantees that we just mentioned before. Get paid for your service. Why get 0? For what? For the giggle? For the joke? For the No problem. Later. I also like it. I love a good joke. I love a good hug. I love to say I love you. I love it. It's a connection. Is anything better than two Jews connecting? It's the best thing in the world. But here we're connecting with God. Now we're connecting with God. I always tell my the kids when we do the kids class, they come to shul to play. I have a very hard time with that. Because they come to shul with a soccer ball. Or maybe they come to shul to play around. I always ask him, when you go to the park, you bring a siddur? When you go to the park, you bring a Sefer Torah? Why does it happen? Why is this double standard? Why is it you can play in the shul, but you can't pray in the park? There's a time and place for everything. You have to know that as a child, and you have to know that as an adult. So when you come here, you understand it's my time. I have a date with God. It's my time to speak to Hashem. Later, I have a date with all my friends. And if it's something that is like, you want to spend a long time, invite them over. Pick up another mitzvah. Mitzvah, goret mitzvah. Mitzvah, goret mitzvah. First, I'm going to pray to God. Tefillah. Check. Then I'm going to do achnasat orchim. Check. Then I'm going to do b'aftar hakamocha. Check. Do it the right way and get the reward. Why do it the wrong way? Mishmash, everything a salad and shul. After hakamocha, tefillah, and whatever is going on, and you get 0, 0, 0 all over the place. It says that when it comes to shul, where's my books? 1 second. It says when you come to shul, you have to go in a certain way. Rabbi Elazar Bochatzera says, זכר צדיק וקדוש לברכה, זכותו תגן עלינו אמן, שהגזרות הרעות שפוקדות את שונאיהם של ישראל, הכל מחמת שלא נזהרים מספיק בקדושת בתי הכנסיות. Look what's going on in Israel right now. Why should we be bothered by these Arabs? Why can't we have the protection?
Muslims.
Rabbi Eliezer Abu Hatzera tells you, Hagzerot hara'ot, these harsh decrees that enemies are coming upon us, shepogdot et soneim shel Yisrael, meaning us, hakol mechamat, all of that stems, shelo nizharim maspik b'kedushat batei knesiyot. We're not careful enough with the honor of Bet HaKnesset. Also, says a story. There's a store that was in Bnei Brak, in Mea Shearim. And they had over there, they were very particular for people not answering the phone during prayer. Or למי שיתפס במניין ויתפס עונה לטלפון. And it was like they were very particular about that. Now, the story goes of how there was a guy. He was told, he was very embarrassed. They kicked him out from the shul, And later on, they brought him back. He understood the severity, but they wanted to show us that there's like a shul that's very particular, not only on talking, but even talking on the phone, not necessarily to people in the shul. There's a rabbi in Brooklyn. His name is Rabbi Dubi Ben Shushan. He had 2 people in the shul talking in the back. One guy was talking on the phone, and after he hung up the phone, he started to talk to the guy next to him. So at the end of tefillah, the guy that was with the phone, he comes over to him and he tells him, "Ya Habibi, why'd you do that? We don't, it's not nice to talk in shul. If you don't mind, we have chargers on the outside. Plug it in. Let your phone charge while you pray. And when you're done, you can go back." Then he goes to the guy that's next to him, and he goes to him, bah, and smacks him. He goes to him, "Rabbi, what was that for?" He says, "For talking in shul." He says, "But Rabbi, I was talking, and he was talking. Why for him, you're petting his face, you tell him, Habibi, please, can you do better? And me, I get a smack in the face." He says, "You, 10 years in my shul, you should know better. This guy, it's day 1. I have to take it easy on him. Can't be that you're here more than a day and you haven't heard somebody tell you, shh, you don't mind, no talking in shul." Here, he even says, what does it say? Lo ledaber b'shat tefillah. There's even signs. It's impossible you don't know already. It's almost rude that you already know that there's no talking in tefillah, and then you're talking, and you see 97% of the shul is here to pray, 97% of the shul is here to connect, and 97% of the shul is coming to get a spiritual uplifting experience, and there's 3 people that are ignoring the rules. 3, 4, 5 people that are not only ignoring the rules, but even more, they don't care. And after you tell them, shh, what do they do? Okay. Not more than 10 seconds later, they go back into it. Not more than 30 seconds later. It's embarrassing. Why? Because you love them. They're your friends. You're going to hug them in a half hour outside. "I love you, my friend. Shabbat shalom. How's everything? How's the kids?" But in shul, they're driving you crazy. What are you doing? You know better. You're an adult. It's not your first time. You're not that guy that lituf on the cheek. You're already a smack in the face for talking in shul for so many times. You have to know that. You have to know that you're anybody who's talking in shul, you're robbing people from the yeshuot that they came to get in shul. You have to concentrate on the time that we're here to keep the Shekhinah here as long as possible so our prayers are heard and our prayers are answered. That's what we come here to do. I go to the garage to fix my car. I go to the doctor to get a checkup. I go to Publix to buy food. I come to shul to connect to God. I don't mix things up. Same thing here. Be focused. You come to shul, you come to pray. You come to connect to God. You come to speak to God. Socializing is the yetzer over here. Seeing friends and want to talk to them, yes, that's the yetzer. You have to overcome it. Or just make time before. A lot of people sometimes, tefillah starts 8:45. You know what time they show up? 8:15. Because they like to sit in the kitchen and have a coffee with their friends. It's nice. They talk for 15, 20, 30 minutes and they get it out of their system and they concentrate on tefillah. Or some people say, you know what, I'm going to come late, but I'm going to stay after tefillah, kiddush. Because kiddush, there's arag, there's fitzuchim, there's all this thing. Okay, fine. It's nice. I get to socialize. But they give themselves a place, a time to pray and a time to socialize. But when you're talking in shul, it's very, very problematic. I'm saying it in a very basic way, and I'm repeating it 1,000 times, because sometimes you have to hear it 1,000 times for it to work one time. There's another story. It says, there's a pasuk that says, Hasket ushma Israel. What is that pasuk about? Do you guys even know what that Hasket ushma? It says, Hasket ushma Israel. Hashem is telling the Jewish people, quiet and listen to me. If you go in my way, I'm going to fight your wars. I'm going to take care of all your problems. There's a beautiful Rashi Tevot of when you're supposed to be Hasket ushma. They have to be quiet and listen. Hey, you have to be quiet during Hallel. Samech, Sefer Torah. Chaf, Birkat Kohanim. Taf, when you're putting on tefillin. Shin Ayin, Tefillat Shmoneh Esrei, the Amidah. Mem, Megillah. And that's Hasket Ushma. Yeah, Hasket Ushma. Here in the word Hasket Ushma, over there you have the things that you have to be quiet for. There's no talking in Hallel, there's no talking in Sefer Torah, there's no talking Birkat Kohanim, there's no talking in Amidah Shmoneh Esrei, and there's no talking during the time of Megillah. Because sometimes people think, oh, we did this tefillah. We after Amidah, it's a free-for-all. The Amidah is the quiet. Everything else after that is not necessary. It's not true. You have to be quiet for the entire time. Furthermore, the Zohar Kadosh says in Parashat Terumah and then also in Achemot, Madua Am Yisrael Adayin Begalut. Why we're still in Miami? Why are the Jews still outside of Israel? The Zohar says, for 3 reasons. Shlosha dvarim anu adayin, bigla shlosha dvarim anu adayin begalut. These are the 3 reasons why we are still in the exile. Shosim bizayon leshchina, that we disrespect God's holy presence. Shebaim lebet hakneset umedabrim sham divrei chol. That we come to shul and we talk things, things that are not holy. We talk the mundane things in shul. Why are we still in the galut? כשקוראים בתורה, ישנם אנשים שאינם מקשיבים לקריאת התורה ומתעסקים בדברים אחרים. There's no bigger disrespect than when the Torah comes out and the person turns his back and goes to the kitchen for a shot of whiskey. No greater disrespect. There's no greater disrespect to say, oh, now it's Kiddush Club. Kiddush Club? There's also the JFK Club. You know the JFK? No. They come just for Kiddush. JFK, just for Kiddush. This is the biggest disrespect possible. First of all, as soon as those doors open, Sharei Shamayim are open. It's an Et Ratzon. Chazal tell us, Et Ratzon, it's an auspicious time. You know what's an Et Ratzon? On the whole calendar, we might have maybe 6 or 7 times where there's an Et Ratzon. We get an Et Ratzon every Shabbat at the opening of the Ark. You're supposed to stand over there and pour your heart. I'm praying for my kids. I'm praying for my wife. I'm praying for myself. I'm praying for my brother, for my sister, for Am Yisrael. You go and have a drink during that time? Whiskey is better than praying for your entire family to be successful? You don't care about your children? You don't care about Am Yisrael? Look what we're going through. Spend 5 minutes and pray for the soldiers. Spend 5 minutes and pray for Israel, for the Jewish people, not to have this anti-Semitism as part of our daily diet for the past 2,000 years. Whiskey? It's very important that you know how to behave in shul. When the Torah comes and we're reading from the Torah as we're instructed to hear the Torah 3 times a week, Monday, Thursday, and Shabbat. Shabbat is the mitzvah to hear it. And you see, people literally say, no thank you, I'm opting out. Instead of listening to the Torah, I'm going to go make a kiddush and I can talk to my friends in the kitchen about what? About what? What are you guys talking about? What's more important than coming to shul and listening to the Torah reading? The values are off completely. That's why you have to understand that the reason why you live in Miami and deal with anti-Semitism, and we're still in the exile for 2,000 years, the Zohar says, שקוראים בתורה, אנשים לא מקשיבים לקריאת התורה, ומתעסקים בדברים אחרים. Not only מתעסקים בדברים אחרים, I took it to whiskey. Even if the guy is, the Torah is reading, and he's reading something else. All of a sudden he wants to read like an Eilon, or he wants to read some sort of other book. Pay attention, there's a time and place for everything. The Zohar continues to say one more. Okay, that's the classic reason of why we're still in the exile, because we're sinners. We have yet to understand what's the right way.
May I say one thing?
Yeah.
Perhaps we're in this place and we're doing well, but we're doing mitzvahs, we're doing bracha, and that's also needed.
Yes, it's needed. It's very much needed. But our natural environment is a Jew living in Israel with a built-out Bet HaMikdash, with the Shekhinah in Kodesh HaKodashim, us living safely within our land. That's our default setting. Us doing brachot in Miami, it's cute, it's nice, it's better than nothing. But it's not our natural setting. That's not where we're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be here.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We're all beshert. Hashgacha pratis.
Okay, let's do like I understand the kaf zchut. I understand the positivity and the optimism that you're trying to express. But where's a Jew supposed to be?
In Israel, but all Jews don't have the money to live in Israel.
But until we get to that point, then we're here. Okay, but our goal, our final destination is land of Israel, Jews living like Jews, and with the Mashiach, with Bet HaMikdash, living a Torah life. Not what we're going through over here. This is not the ideal situation for any Jew. We are in a fight. We are fighting the Goyish side of us and the Jewish side of us every minute of the day. You think it's easy living around Gentiles and not being infected by them? No. It's not so simple to be a Jew in the exile. You're not exactly scoring 100 every day as a Jew. A Jew scores 100 or at least close to 100 when he's in his natural environment. His natural environment is a Jew, living as a Jew in the land of Israel with a built-out Bet HaMikdash, with God's holy presence there. That's our goal. That's what we need to reach. Everything else is a distant second. There's a famous story from the Rav Victor Miller. He says, there's an Avrech, a Torah learner, came to the famous Rabbi Victor Miller, and he wrote on his door a petek, and he was waiting for the Rav to come in order for him to speak to him. That he wants to come and speak to him and to tell him about his personal situation. The Rabbi acquiesced. He had told him, yes, you can come to me. He came to speak to him, and he starts to tell him the story with tears. The Avrech, now they discovered that he has the sickness. And he says, before I go and get advice from the doctors, I first come to my rabbi. How am I going to go to get past this sickness? What should I do? So Rabbi Victor Miller tells him, I have one single question for you. And the student is sitting so intently to see what that question is going to be. He asks him, he says, the shul that you pray in, they speak during the Torah reading? So Avrech says, yeah, they talk in the Torah reading. So what does Rabbi Victor Miller tell the Avrech with cancer? Im ken, en li trufa lemakatcha. I can't help you. Look at to what extent a blockage can be upon a person when he prays in a shul that people talk. Furthermore, it says, there's a story of a guy called Mas'ud Biton. You think he's Moroccan? He used to work for Hevra Kadisha. And it happened to be that he passed away, and all of a sudden he had an out-of-body experience, meaning he died for 45 minutes. He went up and he got to see heaven, hell, the judgment, the courthouse where he's going to be judged. He got a nice little quick tour of everything that's going on over there. And he even said that he was able to see his whole life in a movie flash in front of him. And he says tons and tons and tons of prosecuting angels telling him, Rasha, Rasha, Rasha. And this guy is, working for many, many years in Hevra Kadisha. Everybody thinks that he's a big tzaddik. And the Shamayim, they're calling him Rasha, Rasha, Rasha. And he's standing there, his mouth closed, as the prosecution goes on, and they're telling about all the things that he did in the previous in his life. And all of a sudden, starts to see that there's coming like these new angels or new people that are coming, and they're starting to say something in his favor. No, his time is not up. Please, bring him back. We need him. We can't be without him. And all of a sudden, there's a whole fight in the Shamayim, whether to keep him here dead and face his fate, or to bring him back. Now, it says, that he got to come back, and he was dead for 45 minutes. That's clinically dead. You know, when your brain it has no oxygen for a few minutes, you're done. Him coming back and being able to function fully was a pure miracle. Nevertheless, when he came back, he started to talk, and they said, why did they call you a Rasha? They said, why call a Rasha? He says, because remember, he was in Hevra Kadisha. Hevra Kadisha, they say a lot of Kadishim. He says, you were part of a place where people were talking during Kaddish. Now think about it. The guy works for Hevra Kadisha. The guy is over there orchestrating, helping the dead. But because he had a share of people talking during Kaddish, in the Shemaim they're calling him Rasha. It's crazy to even think that, because we want to always be optimistic and we're going to say, but he's so good, he has all these mitzvot. But you have to understand, when there's a sin, it's emet, it's a sin. That's how grave, that's how they measure, how they weigh out the talking in shul, to the point that no matter where you are in your life, if there's talking, it's a very heavy stone on the scale. I want to share with you just two more things, and with this I'll conclude. Shlomo HaMelech, the smartest man to ever live in Kohelet, says, Ki gam lo yeda adam et ito. He says, people, they don't know their time. They don't know when they're going to die. You don't know when your time is going to be. Kadagim shenechazim b'mtsuda ra'a. Similarly to the fish that are captured and they're in a bad fate. V'chatziporim ha'achuzot b'pach. Or like birds that are captured by a cage. Kahem, like them, yukashim b'nei adam. Similarly are human beings. Le'et ra'ak shetipol aleim pitom. They're going to be like a fish in a net, like a bird caught in a cage. When the bad time comes upon them, and it comes upon them suddenly, unexpectedly. What is Shlomo HaMelech talking about over here? He says, for the people that like to fish, he says there's two ways to catch a fish. Derech had begufam, derech shniya be'apam. He says you can catch a fish by why? In which way? You can cast a net and you capture the whole fish. You pick up its whole body. What's the second way you can catch a fish? With a hook, and you catch it by its mouth. He says, this is the exact same way how the evil inclination comes to catch the Jewish people. One with their body, or with their mouth. One with their body is when you're following all your desires, all your inclinations, all the things that all the addictions that people have, whether it's for alcohol, whether it's for food, whether it's for drugs, whether it's for or whatever pleasures that they seek, all the things that everything is just to please the body. He says that's how the Yitzhak catches you in the net. He catches your body. He says, what's the second way that he catches the person? With his mouth. How? When they come to places like Batek Nesiyot and they talk. Two ways to catch a human being, like catching a fish. Lastly, no, this is too scary.
Read it, please.
No.
Please
Ooh, you're sadistic. Look at these guys.
Don't be a teaser.
Yeah, that's not nice. Don't do
Just like the Haftarah.
No, you should skip.
He's trying to save you guys.
Yeah, read it.
All right. It says, no, the thing is. Okay.
Should I leave the room? Should I leave the room?
Chagiga, Masechet Chagiga, the 12th page, and also in Avodah Zarah on the 3rd page on the second side. כל הפוסק מדברי תורה ועוסק בדברי שיחה, מאכילים אותו גחלי רתמים. Anybody who stops while they're learning to go on Facebook. Anybody that stops with their learning and just talks about what's the score? How's Bitcoin today? Did Colombia win? How's the U.S. basketball team? Okay. The book is open and you go into Dvarim Betelim or B'divrei Sicha. Ma'achilim oto gachale retamim. They feed him hot charcoals. Now, gachale retamim, it's not really charcoals. There's a special piece of wood that burns for a very, very long time. It doesn't go out quickly. It's called the gachale retamim. It's this wood that it's made from. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the word Gemara, Gimel, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Gechale retamim ma'achilim adam. What happened? That's a guy that learns Gemara, and now he puts it up ma'achilim. Gechale retamim ma'achilim ben adam. So it says, כאשר התחיל לעסוק בלימודו, so this is, this is Shlomo Shar Shlita, says that when a person starts his learning, ראוי לקבל שכר. Right? When you start learning, you are now worthy of getting the reward that comes for Torah learning. אך שהפסיק כדי לדבר בטלפון או לדבר דברים בטלים, נהפך מזכאי לחייב. He says, so when he started to learn, he's worthy of a reward. However, in a split second that he stopped his learning to go on his phone or to talk nonsense, he goes from meriting to get a reward to now he is guilty and he has to pay a price. V'nafal me'igra ram lebira amikta. He went from a high level, now he's on the lowest level. ומענישים אותו באכילת גחלים לוחשות, רחמנא ליצלן, ולמזהיר ולנזהר, שלומים תן כמי נהר. You have to understand that there is a huge problem with talking in shul. You can talk in shul under one condition, that you're talking to God. If you're coming and you're talking to God, talk all you want, as loud as you want, sing it. Nobody will tell you a thing. But if you come to shul for something other than that, there's a lot of things that are waiting over there, here in this world and in the next. One of the biggest problems is that there's a mashal to a guy. One of the biggest problems is that you're one of a whole. Like right now, I am one of 50, 60, 70 people, let's say, right? So there's a mashal of a guy that was in a boat. And all of a sudden, this boat is holding maybe 2,000, 3,000 people. And all of a sudden, the red light is going on. And there's like an alarm. And they say, why? There's water on the bottom of the boat. So they go to take a look. And they see that the water is coming out of one cabin, out of one door. So they knock on the door to see, where the leak is coming from. So the guy opens up the door. And he's holding like a corkscrew. And you see him, he's making a hole in the bottom of the boat. So they're telling him, hey, what are you doing? You're going to sink us. He's like, leave me alone. It's my cabin. I can do whatever I want. But you're making a hole in the bottom of the boat. We're all going to sink. I don't care. It's my room, but we're all going to sink. Same thing here. Leave me alone. I come here to speak. Don't stop me. What are you, my father? What? I'm in jail? Yeah, but you're that guy making the hole in the bottom of the boat. Because of you, we're all going down. We come here to talk to God. And if you're not able to talk to God, excuse yourself to the front, to the back, somewhere else where you're not bothering the people that have that intention. And 90%, 95%, 97%, dare I say, 99% of the people that come to shul are coming to talk to God, to get yeshuot for what's going on in their life. I would dare to say 100% of the people that come to shul, coming to Yeshua. It's just the guy that's talking, he's not in tuned yet, which is okay. You take a lesson, you learn a little bit, you become a better person, you understand. Sometimes it's just a lack of knowledge. They don't know. They don't know it's not allowed here, and they don't know it's not allowed there. Sometimes they just don't know, it's a lack of knowledge. You think that shh, that you tell them would be enough, but no. Maybe sometimes you have to pull them to the side and say, Tzaddik, I don't know if you know, but you're not allowed to talk in shul. Especially from the time we start to the time we finish. You can only talk before and after. Did you know that? You didn't know that? Oh, let me show you. There's actually a booklet. Here, let me give it to you. Let them read. Here, a small little booklet, 15, 20 pages. It'll explain everything to you. Oh, you want the bigger one? Here, more with stories. But at the end of the day, you must be in the know. That there's a time and place for everything, and when we come to shul, we come to pray, we don't come to play, and there's a lot of blessings that come with staying silent in shul. There's a lot of harsh things that come with not going, but the whole thing is, be considerate. It's the other people. I know you don't care, but what about the other people? That guy's waiting all week that God will hear his prayer, that the machala leaves him. All week he's waiting that maybe he'll get the Yeshua for Parnassah this week so he can pay his mortgage and the electric and take it and pay for his kids' schooling. You know how expensive it is to live in the diaspora? Kosher food, tzniut clothing, being close to going to religious schools. It's not easy being a Jew in the diaspora. It costs a lot of money. So the guy needs help. He's coming to pray that Hashem give him the Yeshua. He wants it to be where the tefillah goes up and gets answered. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it for the other person. And overall, it's just unbelievable respect that you can give to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When he comes and he sees you staying quiet, he looks at you and says, that's my boy. Look at the derech eretz. Look at the kavod he's giving his Abba Shebashamayim. Think about when your children do something good, how proud you are of them, how much simcha you get when your children go in the way that you want them to go. Similarly is us. You don't know how much nachat Hashem gets from us as his children. That when we come to shul and we stay quiet, he says, that's my girl, that's my boy. Look how they come and they respect the place, they respect me, they respect the Torah, they respect the tefillah. Check. What do you want? This is a shul. Whoever prays here gets it. There's some shuls that you go over there. It's like a lucky charm. You go over there, that shul, Shari Shamayim are open over there. Why? They don't talk, they come to pray, they pray for other people. Why can't 4601 Thomas be that? Why can't any shul all over the world be that? Of course it could be that. It's just education. Knowledge is power. When you learn a little bit more about the severity of talking and the blessings that come with it, that can come without talking, then you're aware of it and you're able to take it to the next level. So take this final class, this class number 50, that we spent so much time about the introduction of prayer, and Amidah, which is Avodat Halev, and all the things that we learned up until now, and let's put a stamp on it that all this is hinged, everything that we learned is hinged on the fact that I stay quiet in shul. Otherwise, everything that you do is for nothing. Everything will go to the Sitra Achra. Why put all that effort where everything goes to the other side? If you're already here, get paid for it. If you're already here, get what you came to get. Don't go with a blank check at the end of every tefillah, zero paycheck. Get paid for your service. How? Learn that the best thing to do is to come, to respect the place, to respect the kahal, to respect the tefillah, and challenge yourself. And if you feel that you can't be in shul for a very long time, 3 hours, 4 hours, 45 minutes, time yourself. I can only be here 30 minutes. Okay, next week 31 minutes. Next week 32 minutes. Start to manage your time properly so you don't sin in shul. I want to congratulate all of you for an amazing learning session of Amidah learning and the Tefillah 101. Super excited for the next learning that we're going to do together. I want to thank Asaf. I want to thank Shlomo Zer for sponsoring tonight's class, and Be'ezrat Hashem that these Divrei Torah will be to the Ilu Nishmat of Batia, Bat Tzipora,
Amen.
and Snir, give me the name. Help me with the name. Snir Lalum Ben Aliza.
Amen.
ובעזרת השם תהיה נשמתם צורה לצורך חיים.
Amen.